Hello, this video is to serve two purposes. One is to show you this vector based flight system I've made up, and the other is to talk people through the updates I'm making to this asset, my Scorpion drone. So we'll start off by showing you the controls. I've added this playable version to my asset, and here is the most important part: to actually add the movement. To do that, you get the controller itself, desired rotation, and then you split it up into vectors. Split the rotation up into vectors: the up vector for flying vertically and up and down, the right vector for moving side to side, and the forward vector for moving forwards and backwards. This isn't implemented in this drone, but it would be useful for a plane. If we crack open this macro, we can see how that works. Taking in the vector, and I'm taking in the axis, which goes from -1 to 1, and then we are multiplying that by max fly speed, which we get from the character movement, which is in every character, and then we are multiplying that with the vector, and then we are adding that vector to the actor location from self, and we are adding it once we're adding the locations together. Another useful thing is level off. Now all I'm doing here is I'm getting actor rotation, and when I set the rotation, I'm zeroing out the X and I'm zeroing out the Y, but I'm keeping the yaw. So if you've got flat ground, it's gonna immediately go to that. Whether or not you wanna line trace down and get the, is it cross product or dot product? Either way, get the direction of the normals and then match it. That's up to you. And fly drop. This is to simulate how a helicopter acts, although it's not quite working as much as I would like it to, so it might get updated. But this is the balance point, and we're getting that absolute value of the pitch. So whether it's minus or plus, it's gonna say give us a result, and that's the speed I want it to drop, and it's currently dropping a lot slower than that. You add the movement downwards, and it's related to that. So that's what this part does. All this part does is smoothing out its movements when it's balanced, make it a bit more controllable. This is just the setting the values with the keyboard. You can feel free to delete these out and put in your own controls. Thumbstick axis, and this is to move it sideways. We're clamping it because we've got the keyboard in there as well, and that's the clamp right there. And that's fly horizontal, you've seen that. This is basically the same for flying upwards and driving. Yes, so here's something else that might be useful. This particular asset jumps up into the air and then it starts flying. So I've used the face button and space bar, which is usually jump, and then is checking whether or not we're flying, and if you press that, you still want to change from one to the other. So we change these, we change this. This decides how the actor rotates with your input. You can get that, you can get those settings by clicking on the asset right at the top of here where it says self, and if you put in control on a pawn or a character, you're going to get these, and that controls how the actor moves with your the control rotations. So if I put in pitch there, like I have down here, that's going to rotate the entire actor, and the same with roll as well, which would also be useful when making a plane or something else that's going to roll over. So that is the controls for my vector based flight controls, the controls for my controls. And now to talk you through how to use this update. Of course, if you just want to add your controls like this, like maybe your first character you add in is this playable pawn, and you're happy with how it works, and you haven't got anything you want to replace it with, then you could just go ahead and change these axes and buttons out to whatever suits your project. However, if you want it to inherit controls from anything from assets you've already got, it's going to have to be a character actually, because of it's got character movement and stuff. You're going to lose a lot of functionality if you try to parent it to anything else. You're going to want to use this VTOL event to make it jump up into the air and fly, and this, you want to make sure that if you're parenting it to something you've already got, you definitely want to use this Scorpion Drone BP, not the playable version, because if you use the playable version, it hasn't got all of the functionality. It wouldn't have all the functionality because we can see here they inherit stuff from Scorpion Drone. In fact, let's see what happens if we change the parent of that. Going here like we did, Scorpion Drone BP. Let's say we want to inherit from just character. May cause data loss as we parent. Blueprint self is not a BP, so therefore target must have a connection. Yeah, you see, this is going to fail because that comes from, yeah, that's what's going to happen if you parent that. So let's just change that back. Click on class setting. Well, you should know this from the previous one, but class settings, change that to Scorpion Drone BP, and it's happy now. But you are free to make that inherit from another character and then call this event when you want to fly. It hasn't got the directional controls because the directional controls can override what you've already put in, and it can act really strange, so that's why they're not on here for your benefit. And I've actually got a game, well, a template that I'm working on for myself. I won't be showing it, sorry. And I've actually integrated it into there using the methods that I showed you in the previous video.